All right. So we've got this this follow-up video. So the video I covered the other day was this interview by a website, oh sorry, not website, YouTube channel called Shinfitz. And I just like people ran with this interview as if it was gospel, right? You know, and I covered it. You know, I mean, I'm sorry, but I don't do the whole trust me bros type thing. I need actual evidence, like definitive hardcore evidence. Most people interpreted the interview in a completely different way, but some YouTubers ran with it as if it was like, you know, Jesus came down and like told them this is how it was, right? Now, I've also said that this stuff could end up being absolutely true. But again, we have to approach this stuff with a grain of salt until we get definitive confirmation from the actual source themselves in some form of like official capacity, an announcement, video on YouTube from their channel, Digital Blips channel or Mortal Kombat channel, whatever. Then right now, right, it is just a kind of trust me bros type thing. So let's watch this video and see what happens.
Tom Brady once said that the reason why the Mortal Kombat community isn't as celebrated in the FGC is because the Mortal Kombat community is not really a community. I mean, when it comes to the Mortal Kombat community, we are absolutely rubbish. And I'm going to explain why. When it comes to the Capcom side, we have people like Maximilian working with Justin Wong. We have Brian F. working with Rob TV. And of course, back in the day, we had Excellent Adventures and Capcom Pro Talk. And all of these people would collaborate and help each other grow to the community that they are today, so that no one is small and everyone is growing. But that's not really how it is with the Mortal Kombat community, at least not with most creators. The only person I could think of who really does something similar to this is Foxy Grandpa. And I say all this because of my Evo video. There's been a lot of misconceptions and and untruths said about my Evo video, and I just wanted to follow up and kind of address some of the misconceptions going around. So without further ado, let's jump into it.
You will never win.
A lot of people online have been saying that I said, you know, this has made people make Shinfitz out to be the enemy of the Mortal Kombat community. A lot of people are saying Shinfitz said that there will be no other games coming to Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. First of all, you guys, I'm on your side. I want there to be more games for the Legacy Collection. This isn't something that I want or something that I predicted. I was just reporting something that was told to me at Evo. And what was told to me at Evo is not what people are reporting when they cover my video. What was said is that nothing beyond the PlayStation version or arcades will be covered in the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, which means things like the PlayStation 2 era won't be covered. And a lot of people seem to understand that. Most rational people say, well, I guess that means Shaolin Monks isn't coming because that's a PlayStation 2 era game. But they're holding out for Gold, even though Gold is not an arcade game. Gold is a Dreamcast exclusive. So when people say, oh, well, Dan was saying no to MK9 and not to MK Gold, number one, rewatch the clip. There's a obvious pause after I say, are we getting? It's not like I interrupted him and then he just shook his head without being able to consider it.
He said we're doing the Mortal Kombat Collection basically classic arcade era. Everybody's like, you gotta have Trilogy. Yeah. You gotta have Trilogy, you gotta have Gold, you gotta have Mortal Kombat 9.
Are we getting?
Second thing is,
Why? I'm sorry. Why is people laughing at this like it's some fucking funny shit? I mean, am I missing the joke here? Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, we're not getting a game that everyone wants. Seal clap. Firstly, it is completely, like, again, my issue is not the fact that he interviewed Dan. Dan's obviously a nice guy. It looks like he's on his 12th cup of coffee, as Dragoon said. But, like, the thing is, though, it's not clear. And you said I mouthed the word gold, right? And that's why he shook his head. Right? Why would they why would they divulge and kill all hype for their collection to some, and it could have been me, right? It's not him personally, but why would they divulge it to any fucking YouTuber at Evo? But like after 2 road tour events, when they've still got 2 more tours like to show up at, 2 more shows to show up with, right? They have kept this all under wraps. And they just blow their entire load randomly. It doesn't make any sense. Now, it could be true. But the only way I will accept the truth, right, instead of the trust me bros, is when we get to the end. When they actually announce this stuff officially.
Why would... I mean, I was the guy talking to him. I was looking in his face. He was looking in my face. And I'm pretty sure we were able to comprehend what we meant when we were talking to each other. But for some reason, everyone online who wasn't there can look at the clip and say, no. He wasn't talking about MK Gold. He was talking about MK9. But again...
But it's completely ambiguous. Like, it doesn't even... It could be either one, right? But you didn't turn the camera to your face and go gold, and then turn it back to see his reaction. You're just telling us after the fact, right? And again, he's not the head guy. Stephen Frost is. All right? We know how easy it is to emulate the Dreamcast. People for free are doing it, right? Now, again, it may not come out, right? That doesn't validate or invalidate anyone. The point of this conversation is the legitimacy and the accuracy of reporting. If you can't just say stuff off camera and say, oh, they told me. Oh, they told me. Oh, I said this and they told me it was wrong. No, you are sharing information publicly about an upcoming product. As a customer, I want to know what's being told as being truthful. Now, some creators ran with this as if it was gospel. That's it. No gold, no nothing, right? And I'm sorry, but like, you can't do that. These people are making a product that they want to sell, right? If you just come out and say, nah, there's no gold, and there's people that have been hanging out for gold, then they're, all right, I'll just go cancel my pre-order. That's on you. Right? Now, if it comes out that there is no gold in it, right, they still have their chance to pre-order. But at least we know officially, not some loud event. I still don't understand the laughter of this. Why does everyone think this is fucking funny? I don't find it funny. Am I missing something here?
He mentioned we're not getting anything past the PS1 era of games, and MK Gold is an exclusive Dreamcast game, which is obviously a step up in tech when it comes to the generation of games. So, do I want MK Gold to be part of
yeah, it's a step up in tech, but like, it's easier to emulate than it is to emulate MK4. Right? There is a big difference, like, obviously in like, because Steven is obviously at the head of this thing, right? Then you can see the differences in the way that questions are answered. Like, nothing is like, if somebody's like in the interview with IGN, they're like, oh, yeah, Special Forces, Mythology Sub-Zero, and he's like, well, you know, still keep hope. Still keep. It doesn't just say flat out no.
Legacy Collection? Absolutely. I would love for it to be a part of that game. But based on what he mentioned, I don't think it will be, because again, this is past the PlayStation 1 tech. So everyone out there saying, oh no, he's talking about MK9, he's talking about MK9. Hopefully all this ruckus will make them maybe push back the release date and then they can add MK Gold. But
we don't, but
based on our conversation, he was saying that MK Gold would not be part of it.
He was rattling off Trilogy, 9, Gold. Like, I mean, you could have Like he was, dude. He was vibing. He was vibing on caffeine, right? You could tell, right? He was just like super hyped. It was super loud, right? And your evidence was I mouthed the words gold. That's not evidence. Cock looks like gold when you open your mouth. I mean, did you ask him if Cock will be in the game? That's my main issue with the interview, right? Is the trust me bros.
Fingers crossed, but yeah, he was not referring to MK9. Now, does that mean I said that there's not going to be any other games announced? No, absolutely not. I do believe there will be other games announced.
And no offense, don't use Tom Brady as your leverage here to say the community sucks. There's various aspects of the reason why the community sucks, and I've covered it at length over the years, right? Okay. But that doesn't mean to say that people can get away with shit fucking reporting and you know, trust me, bros. I'm sorry, but like, you can't just go, oh, well, they're shit because they just don't believe me. That's not how it works. If I did that, if I just came out and said, well, I was at Evo, I can say I went to Evo. Right? No one would believe it. But I can say I went to Evo and I spoke to the guys there and they told me there's only 1.5 games coming out. 1.5 games. Right? Trust me, bro. It doesn't work like that. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. Not in my world, not on this fucking channel. I don't care if you find a transcript somewhere, you know, and it ends up being false. You got to show it. You got to show the whole thing. Because, like, it's funny how the one game outside of Trilogy that everyone's waiting for, right? It's just suddenly debunked, is it? It's just suddenly debunked. Okay.
I'm just saying that the games that will be announced won't be anything past the PlayStation 1 era.
By the way, in his interview, he goes, are we getting, and then it's silence, right? How the hell did we even know he word the mouth gold? Right?
Won't be MK Gold. That's all that I'm saying. So for example, I believe the next announcement that we're going to get will be for Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Now, I know we got Trilogy just recently announced, but I believe that we're going to be getting the N64 version of Mortal Kombat Trilogy. If they want this to be the most complete, version of this collection, then I don't think they can just have one version of Trilogy. They already guaranteed that we're going to get the PlayStation version of Trilogy, and I feel like
Did you notice in the trailer for the reveal for, like, Mortal Kombat Trilogy, they specifically don't even mention the version that they're doing? Did you notice that? Right? They just show Mortal Kombat Trilogy, and then they show, like, the character select screen, obviously some gameplay, right? I'm looking at it right now. It's over here, okay? Because usually when I do my videos lately, I have the trailer playing because, you know, just, you know, keeping everyone excited, right? Why wouldn't they just have that in the same trailer? I don't. I mean, again, listen, we can't predict, sure, but nah.
Like, if we want to get Female Chameleon and if we want to get 3v3, two things that are exclusive to the N64 version,
you know what else is exclusive to the N64 version? Shit graphics and shit sound.
That is something that this collection needs. And like most people said, Stephen Frost mentioned that there will be other games announced, and I feel like this is going to be one of those games. Now, could Mythologies be coming? Could Special Forces be coming? Yeah, maybe. Those are PlayStation games. But as far as Gold or Shaolin Monks, again, based on our conversation,
why do people keep asking for 3D era shit? It's been obvious since day one, since the trailer dropped, that there's not going to be any 3D era games. Just because they have the handheld versions, right, of Deadly Alliance, basically, right, doesn't mean to say that we're going to be getting, we must be getting the 3D era. You're talking about the time that the tech existed, the actual hardware as well, right? And since the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance existed in those periods of time in the 2D era, that's why it makes sense to include them, right? Because they aren't actual like they're not the actual 3D era, you know, full games that they have, right? And as Total MK was saying in our Fate cast the other night, that the 3D era games, apparently they're just copy and paste of each other, right? So it's going to be, from what I understand, it's going to be relatively easy to emulate because, you know, they're basically just a one-to-one of each other, obviously just different changes, mini games and stuff like that, right?
Looks like a no-go. Now, I also want to go over some comments because some people have been roasting me. If you don't believe that I am public enemy #1 when it comes to the Mortal Kombat community, this is...
You know, God saw fit to took my hair. Don't take my title of being public enemy #1 in Mortal Kombat community. Thank you very much while you're up. That's my job.
This is gonna change your mind. So listen to some of these comments. Lucian, the World Gamer, says, I'm pretty sure he was referring to MK9 not being there. Consider that it was consider that it was clearly quite noisy there, and MK9 was the last word he uttered before you just mouthed. Imagine that in a noisy context. We are not getting gold. To me, he clearly meant MK9. It's crazy that to you he meant MK9. Okay, and probably he did not hear you correctly with all the noise there. Look, the camera pulls up a lot of noise, and that's why it sounds so noisy there. But when you're having a conversation face to face, you can clearly hear what the other person is saying. So again, watch the clip again. There's clearly a pause, and he looks at me, say gold, and then he shakes his head no.
You gotta have trilogy. You gotta have trilogy. You gotta have gold. You gotta have Mortal Kombat 9.
Are we getting?
So
It could be all three, for all we know. Like, it's so vague. Why didn't you show us you saying it? Mouthing it.
I don't know why everyone, it feels like cope. It feels like cope, and I know you guys want it. And look, another thing that you're forgetting that he said in that interview is that he realizes that everyone wants their game to be in it, and they're so tied to the game. And I feel like so many people want this to be in it that they're coping. But you guys, he didn't say no to MK9. Next person, I truly believe...
Again, trust me, bros. Do you really think he's going to blow his entire load to you? Again, this could all be true. Right? But do you really think that one of these big guys at this studio is going to suddenly tell, like, some YouTuber, which, again, it could be any of us that were there, just, oh, that's it, yeah, nah, don't worry about that game, yeah. And then they know that people are going to get online and they're going to make videos like it all fucking did, right? It'd be very interesting to see if he actually, like, gets any sort of, like, you know, interviews at Gamescom if he goes, right? And Dan's a great guy. Okay, but, like, you know, this is... I think he was just... People get like that when they get really excited and rambling about stuff. Right? He's rambling off this stuff, right? He could have thought you were talking about 9, right? He's looking around everywhere. He gets even distracted by Goro over here, right? So we don't know 100%, and it is trust me, bros, and it may end up being true. But I can't just base my fact on no evidence. I can't just base my faith on no evidence here. Yeah, you know, no one here is Jesus in the gaming space. So, you know, we just have to, you know, wait and see. But I'd much rather wait for official word. And the only person that I've seen that seems to actually give proper clarification or not giving anything away is Stephen Frost.
Believe they might surprise us with Shaolin monks. Again, I feel like this is cope. Now, I would
The
love
3D era is cope, 100%. If you go back and watch the original trailer, it's all 2D legacy, right? And 2D, not just 2D legacy, but hardware legacy at the time. Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, in there. Game Gear, in there, right? That makes a hell of a lot of sense. Why they had those 3D era games in there, but they're not really the 3D era though. It's just running on the easy tech, like the easy old hardware. That's why they're in there, right? They're not going to put these in there just yet, or they may do a separate collection, or may not do it at all.
to have Shaolin monks, especially online co-op. Are you kidding me? That would be amazing. I want that to be true. But again, you guys don't kill the messenger. I'm just saying what he told me. So I would love for this to be a surprise, but based on my conversation, that's the only thing I can go on. Shaolin monks will not be a part of this package. The fact that you think this guy would just be honest with you about all this is hilarious. Yeah, let's just spoil future reveals for some random person. I mean, again, I was the only person who asked him these questions.
Dude, listen, let's cut this little laughing thing like it's fucking hilarious. Like that people don't know what they're talking about, right? Again, I interviewed Stephen Frost. You know, the guy that's actually doing this whole thing, right? Did you watch that interview? Maybe you should go watch it. Maybe you should go watch the other interviews with Max and go watch the one with IGN with Stephen, right? He's not doing it. He's not giving the game away to just... Even somebody like Max, he's not giving it away, right? And then you just... What? It's just going to be... Oh, what? Just on the Evo floor? Right? Again, it could be... Listen, it could all be true. Right? It could all be true. But the fact is that as a customer, I have to rely on facts here. Not get laughed down to because, you know, people are going, well, why would the company who was trying to build hype, marketing, and make some money out of this, and hopefully for future collections, is going to spoil some of the biggest surprises, possibly, or not, to just random people on the Evo floor. Knowing full well that they're going to run, because you were standing there with a camera, run to YouTube and make a video about it. It doesn't matter whether you end up being true or not. Right? What matters is official confirmation, right? And that's not official confirmation. Because when you've got, like, the head of it not giving the game away, then who do you trust more? Because I think Dan's in charge of, like, maybe, was it in charge of the commentary and story side of things, I think, in regards to that. I believe he is. Maybe somebody can correct me in the comments. But Steven's the head of it. Like, he's the head of it. Like, you don't think that, like, they haven't had discussions before they go out to these events and go, all right, don't reveal anything. Steven said no to me about MK9. It's fucking obvious. In fact, I didn't even think I asked him. I think he just brought it up. I'd have to go back and check. Maybe somebody who's watched it recently can tell me. Right? It's obvious it's not going to be there. It's obvious. Even back then with that interview, the 3D era is not going to be in it. Because they are primarily focusing on this. The problem is, though, some people get confused and they think that the 3D era includes MK4 and MK Gold. Because the models are 3D. That's not how it works, bro. Right? That's not how it works. That's like saying, oh, well, you know, the fucking Special Forces must be 3D era too. Right? I mean, they use 3D people when they digitize the graphics. I guess it's their 3D as well. Like, come on, how far are we going with this, right?
Okay. And Dan just feels like such a excited person when it comes to gaming. You know how some people, when they work in like a hobby, and they say it's not fun anymore because now it's work. I don't feel that's the same way for Dan. Dan is just excited about video games. And he was excited to talk about this project that he was on. So, I mean, whether or not he was being truthful to me, I don't know. Only Dan knows. But the fact that you would think he would lie to me because I'm not part of the press. I don't know what you're trying to say about Dan, but I don't think he's
No,
that...
nobody's saying Dan's lying. Let's just calm down, all right? Nobody's saying that Dan's lying here, right? We're saying that you are claiming things like the question marks don't mean anything, or the what do you call it? The what do you call it? The fucking oh, there's not going to be no gold in there. All of this is conveniently off camera, meaning that, you know, if you turn to your camera to your face and said, "Is MK gold going to be in there?" and you turn the camera around and then he says no, that's more definitive evidence than you going, is it? And then it's silence, and then he shakes his head. Of course, most people are going to shake their head because they think you probably thought you were talking about MK9. Again, we don't know 100%, but like I tell you what though, if this is indeed true, I guarantee you that he had a stern talking to, because like, you know, you can't just do that, right? You can't just go spoil shit, you know, to people that are randoms that can run to the internet and put up videos about it and then potentially hurt their sales. There's a lot of people out there that are looking forward to MK Gold, just like a lot of people were looking forward to MK Trilogy. I just covered in my recent video from Headlock Gaming. He didn't think Trilogy was going to be in the collection. What? Why wouldn't it be? But again, we don't know until we get 100% confirmation. We can only speculate.
That kind of person, but either way, there's no way I can know. Maybe he's lying, but if he is lying, I'm just reporting the lies that he told me. The 3 questions Shinfitz got answered are not on the video. IGN has Stephen Frost saying there are more games, plural, to be revealed on their developer interview for MKLK Q&A. Dan Armrick was shaking his head no before Shinfitz said, "Are we?" Dan was most likely assuming he would ask about MK9. I love how you're in Dan's head. You know what Dan was thinking. Okay.
But you don't either. Like, I mean, to be honest, like, nobody really knows, but, like, you weren't either. Like, he was rattling off Trilogy, 9, Gold, right? And he probably saw how excited you were, thinking, are we? Right? For all we know, you could have said 9. Look at my mouth. 9. Gold. 9. Gold. 9. Are we getting 9? Are we getting gold? It looks the fucking same. Try it yourself. Right? 9. Right? 9 gold. 9 gold. 9 gold. Right? What is the fucking difference visually with my mouth? Absolutely nothing. Right?
Damn, I just cracked up to 70 from up there.
Watch the IGN video, who is actually doing a question and answer, not making assumptions off of someone who is on a rant. Lots of things here. So, yes, the 3 questions I asked were off camera because I was just going up to him to ask a question, and he just kind of kept going. And that was maybe only half of our conversation. Once the conversation kept going, the recording began, and I felt like it was a good idea to share it. I wasn't there initially to record stuff like that, but I felt like this would be a good thing to show because it might temper expectations for the game. Because we all know how MK fans are when they get a game and it's not exactly what they want it to be. So I figured,
how about you shut the fuck up with that sort of rhetoric? You sit there, you start off your video claiming that the MK community is trash, and him tell you Tom Brady's right, and then you call us trash because apparently, you know, we get upset that we don't have it the way that we want it to be. What are you talking about? MK1, right? An absolute abysmal failure of a product that only sold 5 million copies and is a laughing stock of the MK franchise. Are you talking about that? Right? I'm not a big fan of the NRS era. So my excitement is purely in the 2D Legacy and if they bring out a 3D Legacy here. But let's just calm down a little bit, shall we? Don't be going off the deep end and start like leveling shit against the community, right? you know, for no good reason. Relax. All right? We are going off official sources here. We are going off breaking down things and stuff like that. And it seems to be that there are certain people in this community that are trying to kill the hype, that are trying to kill the excitement. Digital Eclipse expressly seem to want to have excitement and build up and secret reveals around this stuff. And it seems like a bunch of you are very eager to kill that notion. My question to that is why? This is actually something that older MK heads really enjoy. The excitement about secrets, wondering what's going to get revealed, the speculation of it. And then we get the actually important questions answered. They're just answered conveniently off camera. Right? Conveniently. Not from... This isn't like dispelled by... Again, please, if anyone's watched my interview with Steven, can you please go back and listen? Because I'm pretty sure I asked him about the question marks. Right? And I'm pretty sure nowhere in there did he say, oh, these question marks are just nothing. They're just in there for no reason.
But hey, this is what someone from the company is saying. And even though I don't have the full thing on camera, I would share what he told me so that when it does come out, people aren't as upset. So that's the first thing. Yes, it's not all on camera. I realize that. But, I mean, whether you believe me or not, that was the conversation that I had with him. Now, as far as Stephen Frost saying there will be more games coming out, again, I didn't say there wouldn't be any more games coming out. I only said that we're not getting PlayStation 2 or anything beyond the PlayStation 1, and that we wouldn't be getting MK Gold. That's it. And as far as, you know, watch the other video. Yeah, the other video Dan does, I mean, not Dan, but Steven just does say that we're getting other games announced, and I 100% we are getting other games announced. Like I said, I think we're getting Trilogy for the N64, and maybe some other PlayStation games like Mythologies and or Special Forces. But again, nothing past PlayStation 1 and not MK Gold. This guy says, stop spreading fake crap for views. Oh man. Stephen Frost confirmed is gonna be more games revealed. August 20th to the 24th we have Gamescom, and August 29th to September 1st we have PAC West. Watch the IGN interview. Yes, we do not know 100% if MK Gold or Mythology Sub-Zero is gonna be in the unannounced games, but definitely they gotta reveal more games. I agree with you. I don't know what fake crap I'm spreading. I didn't say there wouldn't be any more games released or revealed.
You said there was no gold.
I'm just saying what is going to be excluded. 0 Degrees says, I call BS. I doubt you are privy to information about Mortal Kombat, Mythology Sub-Zero, and Special Forces over IGN. I don't think I mentioned Mortal Kombat, Special Forces, or Mythologies in my video, but...
It was actually mentioned in the very beginning. Right, as soon as the video starts with Dan, you can hear somebody say Mythology Sub-Zero and Special Forces.
Okay. Funny how your question was off camera, but IGN's was on camera. 0 Degrees, you got me. We'll see soon enough. I think I've gone...
This smug fucking shit. I'm sorry, but it's just that smug shit. Oh, well, yeah, obviously you got me. Yeah, he did get you. We all got you. That's the point. Right? If you were going to report something with integrity and you don't have evidence of it, you shut the fuck up. You don't say it at all. How about that? Right? You show what was shown and that's it. Okay? And what you showed at best was just weird because you guys are laughing like it's some fucking hilarious joke. That shit is not going to be included. Right? I mean, like, what are we talking about here? Right? This smug attitude, this is exactly the problem the MK community, because fucking honesty, right? And this arrogance, this smug fucking arrogant shit, right? You're not above anyone else here, right? You fumbled. Accept it. Move on.
Over this already. Didn't say there wouldn't be any other games released. I didn't mention Sub-Zero or Special Forces. And yes, those questions were off camera. One thing you claimed is a lie. To call me a liar is insane. You don't know me, Jay.
That's right. We don't know you. So why would we believe you? For the same reason that I don't expect people to know me and believe me. Right?
All right, let's continue. And let's be real. Your question asking, are we getting? And Shake's no, definitely was about MK9. You guys, watch the video again, please.
We have watched it multiple times. Again, you're not going to gaslight us into what we're seeing, right? It's so ambiguous at best. I'll give you that. It's ambiguous, right?
Gold and lies about MK mythologies. Okay, I don't know what about MK mythologies. Facts is, it's been leaked for both gold and mythologies.
Well, that's a
and
lie.
That's facts. Nice try. Jay, you got me. Yeah, I mean, again, this is a lot of the same stuff. Never said those games would be in it, but yeah, I guess I gave it a nice try.
There is no leak about gold and mythologies being in it. It's all speculation as far as this channel goes.
Oh, this guy wants my head. Check this out. Damn Armrek doesn't seem to deconfirm Mortal Kombat Gold, but rather MK9. It's it's like you can tell who came from Kenny Bomb's channel because or Total MK because everyone, all of them said these things, and then it feels like they're just parroting what these content creators have said. Or I believe True Underdog is the latest one who mentioned something like this. Anyway, this isn't news, as we already knew it wouldn't be part of the collection. And your video shows absolutely no evidence that mythologies and special forces were deconfirmed. You have no proof that he deconfirmed them, and seem to be just here to generate engagement with lies. Total dislike. Barf face, sick face. Again, I don't even know what to say about this comment, but yeah, mythologies and special forces didn't really say anything about that, but the fact that you know he was referring to MK9 is crazy to me. I was looking at him, he was looking at me, he saw me say gold, and then he shook his head.
9 gold, 9 gold. What's the difference? Right? There's not much difference at all. The dude was like, he was vibing big time there, right? It's not like some calm interview where you're sitting directly going, is Mortal Kombat Gold in it, yes or no? Right? And again, why would he undercut all the marketing and hype and build up to just some random guy from YouTube?
But you know better than me. Re-listening to the last video, it turns out I did say when it comes to special forces and mythologies not to hold your breath. And perhaps I should have said that
Gee whiz.
or perhaps I should have chosen my words more carefully. That is in no way a confirmation that those games will not be included in Legacy Collection. During a unrecorded part of the discussion, Dan mentioned that there is a to-do list and there is a wish list, and stuff like that is currently on the wish list. So that doesn't mean that those games will not be included, but again, to temper
the only wish list thing that I know about is the fact that crossplay is, and it has been confirmed that it is their first priority post-launch, right? It is their absolute priority.
Personally, I wouldn't hold my breath for those games. But again, it's not a confirmation that they won't be included. And he's not done with me yet, you guys. This man wants my head. He commented again saying, stop spreading lies. Digital Eclipse is aware of what you're doing and should sue you for it. False claims are a disservice to the community. Lying to get likes. Go find a job.
Yes, it is.
Look, again,
You just admitted that you messed up saying something, right, when you claimed you didn't. And then all the stuff that actually mattered is off camera. Right? Why, when you turn the camera on, just re-ask the questions? Do you think he would have said no? Right? Like, for all we know, like, these guys could be, they could have been told, oh yeah, just tell them it doesn't mean anything, just doesn't mean anything, right? Right? And it used to be stuff like that, right? Back in the day. But this is not saying he's lying, like being terrible or anything like that. But who knows? We can only go by what we do know. And what we have been told. With evidence. Again, Digital Eclipse and Atari, they're trying to sell a product here. Right? They're not going to have everything spoiled when they've still got 2 tours to go. To build up even more hype. Because we've got, in a couple of weeks, we've got Gamescom. And then a week after that, I think it is, we've got PAX. They're building up. Right? And MK Trilogy was the start of it.
Saying what was told to me. So if they're lies, I'm reporting what someone said to me. They're not my comments. But I'll try my best to find a job. Now, in the beginning of this video, I talked about the MK community. And one thing I kind of want to harp on a little bit here is the fact that my video got a lot of coverage. A lot of the bigger YouTubers covered my interview for it. And what blows my mind is a lot of them didn't even have enough class to link my video in their description. So we had people like Kenny Bomb, we had Scotty Combat, we had Total MK, and we had True Underdog. All of these guys covered my video, and none of them really, like I said, gave a link to my channel. All of these guys are bigger channels than me, but
I did. Where's my video of it? Yep, I did. I linked it. Even if I don't agree, right? Even if I take issue with it, you get a link, right? My issue with the coverage from some of these people was that they decided that it was definitive evidence, right? It doesn't take much to modify a thumbnail or a title for a video. I don't give a shit if I have to. I don't want to get into the video to find out, oh, I don't know, right? When you're looking on YouTube and you're looking at thumbnails and titles, right? I prefer, and I think it's just straight up honest, that you've got to be, look, rumor, you know, possible, maybe, I don't know, question mark, right? Some of these people actually put it out as if it was definitive evidence on the front cover. And then, you know, if you get into the video, yeah, sure, we treat it as speculation. But that's clickbait. Right? Be honest. I'm not saying everyone did it. I'm just saying, like, and I'm not saying some, as in just reference to the people on screen. I mean, there was a lot of people went out and covered this content, right? So this is not including, like, this is not just, you know, I'm not talking about the people on screen here. But you've got to, like, some of these people just fucking... Why is it so hard for people to just be honest? Why is it so hard, man? Right? Why is it so hard?
Tom didn't even have I feel like the professionalism or the journalistic integrity to link the source so that people can go to it and see it themselves. Now, as you can see, a lot of those people from their channels did find their way to my channels. They said my name. Kenny Bomb over here, he called me Shinfitz because he felt that I was lying to the community.
So I think the question marks are still good. I'm not sure who gave Mr. Shinfitz that information, but we are not running with it.
If we want to get to a
I mean, look, I like funny nicknames that people get, so it was kind of funny. It was kind of funny. It was kind of funny nickname, right? It's not a harsh nickname. It's just a funny name, right? But again, like, you can't blame people, can you? Right? If you want to talk about integrity, then you should have just not included that conversations off camera at all. Show what was shown, right? Which at best is ambiguous, and leave it at that.
a place where the Capcom content creators are, then we should be uplifting each other. We should be
No, stop. We're not uplifting shit. Okay? We're not uplifting trash. We're not uplifting lies. We're not uplifting, falsehoods and all that sort of stuff. Right? Because I guarantee you, if they had people in the Capcom community doing that, right, then they wouldn't be getting uplifted either. Okay? You're picking the top people who have made a name for themselves. Right? We're not talking about us down here in the squalor. Give me a fucking break, man. Right? In every single community. It doesn't matter whether it's Capcom, Mortal Kombat, World of Warcraft. Right? If you've got people in the community that are outright lying, or outright not being honest, or claiming things with no evidence, they're going to get called out. How hard is that to understand? You're going to get called out. Right? Now, these conversations may have very well been true, but we don't have evidence of it. And then people ran with that non-evidence and created content out of it, which could invariably hurt the brand from them trying to sell a product because people fucking spread false information. That's a problem I have with that type of rhetoric. All right? And just as an aside, I always link a video. Always link a video, right? Because you never know. You'll never know. But yeah, you should always do it because whether you like the opinion or not, right? You have to do the right thing.
With each other, and absolutely, if you're taking clips from someone's video, you should definitely link that video in the description. In fact, the one and only person who linked my video in their description and who actually stressed for people to go and watch the original video so that you can make up your own mind is the first person who found my video, and that is Dynasty. Dynasty was the only one who did it, so shout out to Dynasty.
I did it too, motherfucker.
Like I said,
I linked the video too.
Had the link in the description, and he stressed people to, hey, look, don't just take my word for it. Go and watch the original video from the horse's mouth, and then you can make up your own mind. So shout out to Dynasty. I really appreciate that. And you can tell by the comments who came from Dynasty's channel and who came from someone else's channel, because look at the Dynasty clips. Dynasty sent me, thanks for the coverage. Dynasty sent me here, hey, just discovered you because of Dynasty, love your content, and this was a great interview. I'm really interested to see what we end up with as the final product.
And look at this person's, here we go, perfect evidence based on the original video. It hurts my heart to think that Mythologies probably isn't in here. That was based on what you said, with no evidence. Right? That's my point. That's my point, right there. This person's direct comment proves legitimacy to the fact that you were claiming these things with no evidence whatsoever, and the closest that we got was the ambiguous shaking of the head.
It's my heart to think that Mythologies probably isn't here, but we will see. If not this one, then maybe the next. Other than MK Trilogy, Mythologies is my favorite Mortal Kombat game of all time. And like you, I really hope we do get mythologies, and I hope we get special forces. Again, I want to stress this. I know I've said it a lot, but I want to stress the fact that I didn't say there wouldn't be any other games revealed for Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. What I was trying to say is, according to Dan, nothing past the PlayStation 1 era will be included, and that includes MK Gold since it is a Dreamcast exclusive title. So I just feel, again, if we want to really get to where the Capcom creators are,
You know how we get there? We get there by being honest and not being smug about it. Right? Should have asked Stephen Frost these questions.
just calling people liars and, you know, not linking the original videos, just taking the clips on your own, because, you know, some people are saying that I'm lying to get views, but the people covering my quote-unquote lies, they're not doing it to get views, right? They're just doing
well, some of them absolutely lied. They took your lies or your statement or statements and declared it as biological fact, which I also take massive issue with as well. Right? It's always motherfuckers trying to ice skate uphill in this community.
just ridiculous to me. But in any case, it hurts so much too, because I like all those creators. I like them, and you know, but you know, what are you gonna do? Anyway, thank you for listening to me rant for a little bit here. Let's all have our fingers crossed and pray to the elder gods that during the next announcement we get something cool, and that Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection ends up being a fantastic game. If you made it this far, you can.
Well, it already is fantastic. I mean, my basically cream on the top, pretty much is trilogy. But I really think that it would be a missed opportunity not to have gold in there, because gold is kind of like, you know, it's kind of like stuck in like Dreamcast land. For those that don't emulate or play on PC, the last time some of these people played gold was all the way back, and when did MK Gold came out? Right, so we got the home versions in 98. Did Gold come out in the Dreamcast in 98, or was that after that? Let's have a look. MK Gold came out in 1999, so a year after that, 9th of September 1999. So there are probably some people out there that have not played MK Gold since 1999. Right? And if they've never, like I said, if they never emulated the game on PC or whatever, then it's been a really long time. So, but anyway, guys, I'll leave it there. Let me know what you think. I will link this video just like I did the other one. Right? But you can't blame people, bro, for, you know, when you make statements of fact, right? Then people are absolutely going to say, well, you know, it's not true. Because again, why would they reveal all of that to some random person from YouTube? It could have been anyone, right? And if they're not revealing it to IGN, if they're not revealing it to Maximilian, yeah, but some rando suddenly gets all the information that we've been after, you know, like. Anyway, catch you next time.